Hey, what's up, FGC guys, man? All my Street Fighter guys, my Tekken guys, anybody that's fan of fighting games, man. This your boy Mugs, man. So I came across this video, man, from Core Gaming, man. Shout out to Core Gaming. Make sure you go hit the subscribe button, man. Go check out his channel, man. He probably has the biggest channel in the FGC. I think the only person that's coming close to him is Smug, and Smug just got over 100,000 subs. But without further ado, we're gonna get into this. I'm very curious because this was something I had always asked myself, that why is fighting games not really a bigger niche than what you got like from Call of Duty or Fortnite, or why is it the least possible esport niche? So yeah, so let's get into this, man, and I'll meet y'all at the end. Make sure y'all hit the like button, man, too. All right, man, let's get into this.
One thing you hear constantly about fighting games is that they're hard, which is often cited as the reason for why there aren't more people playing them.
Right, you just answered my question.
Newcomers can't win. I mean, this is my cousin playing Ultra Street Fighter 4 for the first time on the hardest setting with 2 minutes of coaching. He beat the game in 10 minutes on his first try, getting multiple perfects on the way, and that was really easy.
Just spamming it against the piece.
Okay, obviously the enjoyment he's going to get out of the game using the lariat
Pro tip, mash buttons.
Limited, and beating the CPU is about as gratifying as cooking instant ramen. He needs a human opponent, because in fighting games it takes 2 to tango, right? So I coached my girlfriend for 2 minutes and had her play him. He won again, but still no satisfaction. This all probably seems really silly, but the point I want to make is that when people say fighting games are hard, they mean it's hard to get to a high enough level to enjoy the game, not necessarily hard to win. But what's making it hard to get to that level, and what can be done about it? The first thing people mention is the execution.
Right.
And it's true. Execution can be very...
Now I will say, like, it's a lot of games that I played in the past, similar like Samurai Showdown, The Art of Fighting, back in the earlier systems in the earlier generation, and you know, those combo routes are very, very execution heavy, so there's no leeway. If you don't do it right, it will not come out.
Very difficult, whether it's a special move or a combo. In fighting games that run at 60 frames per second, there are often what's known as one-frame links, which means you have a 60th of a second window to time a hit. Not even the best players in the world are able to land these all the time, and missing them can cost you the game.
Wow.
But because these one-frame links are so hard, newer games like Street Fighter 5 are widening the window to a minimum of 3-frame links, which is around a 30-second node at 150 BPM for you musicians out there.
Oh, okay.
This is much more doable, and with not too much practice, most people should be able to nail this most of the time. Great, right?
Right.
Personally, I think we can keep the one-frame links as long as they're not mandatory to get great at the game. In basketball, 3-pointers are hard to nail, but Shaquille O'Neal is still a legend while having one of the worst 3-point records in NBA history. If we removed the 3-point line entirely because people thought it was too hard, then we wouldn't have moments like these.
Ooh.
I don't think difficult execution is a problem, as long as it's not required to be good at the game. Take Ryu's solar plexus move, for example. The easiest thing to do is mash into Dragon Punch, which has a large input window.
Yeah.
But if you want that extra damage, you can add an extra hit with a one-frame link. The key here is that you can choose between the easy and the hard combo. Daigo Umehara mostly goes for the harder combo, and Alex Valle not as much, but both are great players. I hate doing one-frame links as much as the next guy, but I like them there as an option. But what about the fundamental aspects of the game that define the difficulty of the entry barrier? I'm talking about special moves, blocking, throwing, and things that most fighters share. Well, there seems to be 2 approaches to this. One is to simplify the moves. The free-to-play PC game Rising Thunder has made all special moves available at the touch of a button, but my favorite idea that helps newcomers in this game is the ability to choose between an advanced attack canceling system known as Kinetic Advance.
Well, didn't Street Fighter Alpha have that? Like where you could choose between what was it? Like a simpleism or like a advanced way to play the game? Let me know in the comments about Street Fighter Alpha. But I've seen some games have those options to play in a more advanced way. I never chose them. I didn't really understand like back in the past when I was playing Street Fighter Alpha series, because I think it was there, and I think it was there in Marvel's Capcom series too. I never really understood those options, so I just kept it simple for me.
And the simpler option of Kinetic Deflect, which gets you out of a combo by pressing 2 buttons at once, which is easy to do and gets newbies out of the frustrating situation of watching their character get their ass beaten for 10 seconds straight. These
I never
measures
heard
have
of that
definitely
game.
gotten some of my friends into the game who otherwise wouldn't have, but I noticed a lot of people were still getting frustrated by classic shenanigans like tick throws and spamming fireballs. So while simplification is one method of drawing people in, education is the other.
Right.
But this is another huge topic that has many approaches. Personally, I think a well-made video with clear explanations can help a lot. Thankfully, there are more great resources out there than ever before, and most I've seen are made by fans of the game. As great as all this user-made content is, I'd also love to see game companies make some official videos that are linked to the game's tutorial modes. Speaking of tutorial modes,
there's not really enough of that, and I think Mortal Kombat Aftermath, the Mortal Kombat 11 was like the first game to actually have explanation of frame data. And I saw a few creators out there, they had a very big it was received very well, you know what I'm saying?
the show Extra Credits has suggested improving tutorial systems and had some interesting ideas on using the single-player mode to do so.
You could do things to help make players more aware of how to use these concepts. Things like having the game go into slow motion with a big reversal opportunity flashing on the screen when this concept is introduced.
But more than anything, I think they inadvertently illustrated the biggest reason why fighting games are so hard to enjoy for new people.
The thing to recognize is that fighting games will never reach the audience they could until they do more to help people get to the level where they can experience real fighting game play.
Right.
This mentality of
I agree with that.
companies better help us get good, or you won't get as many sales, fails to understand that getting to high-level play is up to the player, not the game companies. I mean, Capcom made an inflation-adjusted amount of $3.5 billion on Street Fighter II without any tutorial mode or even a training mode.
Fighting games need to move past being an informational brick wall, and instead graduate their new players from the button masher to the type of player who can think through the problems that a fighting game presents.
Right.
I propose that single player is the best place to do this.
Well, you know what I'm saying? They could always offer, like, let's use Ryu, for example. They could always offer, commentary inside of the game, like in training mode, if you want to know more about your character and knowing the fundamental basics on how to fight with him, you know what I'm saying? And I think what it is that a lot of people do not want to go take the hard road and try to understand their character on a foundational level, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know that Ken is a rushdown. We know Bison is a boss character. We know Gil has no crush counter, and he can give you has endless juggle potential, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely I love fighting games for the simple fact that you can always create your own combo, look a certain way, and separate yourself from everybody else. But I do believe that he is right about this, for the certain fact that most people kind of want to know, without having to go ask somebody, without having to go into the community because they don't know who to go to. A lot of people just like to grow by themselves, and I think for those guys to become casual players and evolve to people who can actually compete with the pros and stuff like that, they need to add something that gives the player an idea of how to approach. You know what I'm saying? That's why you still have people stuck in bronze and silver mode in season 5.
It being the safest space in the game, outside the pressures of competition or other people.
I'm all for better teaching tools within the game, but you're not getting to high-level play by doing multiple choice quizzes in single-player mode,
right?
And that's because it's the safest place in the game. The reason why I think it's so hard to get to that satisfying high level of play in fighting games is because you have to get out of your comfort zone and get bodied by real people over and over again.
Right.
I mean, you're playing a one-on-one game where you're represented by a character on the screen who screams in agony when you fail to block, and no one is there to help you. There's no save and reload feature,
right?
No teammates to share the blame,
right?
When you lose, the game will write a personal message for you in huge letters, and
you lose.
Read it out loud.
As a bonus, that's true. That's very true.
You get to watch your character die a horrible death, which happened because you failed to defend yourself. Then in order to improve, you have to watch yourself losing all over again in a replay to find out what you did wrong. And on the journey to getting good at the game, real people will insult you for losing, hate you for winning, tell you to quit, and sooner or later, you're going to get taunted and perfected by a young kid, and when you have an emotional reaction to that, you'll be told to man up by an old school veteran.
Wow. Didn't even shake hands. I wonder who that was.
Liquor store. Okay, now I'm exaggerating, but the point is, no amount of simplifying gameplay and tutorials are going to prevent these kind of things from happening, and in this light, it's understandable why it's so hard to get into fighting games. Being salty is not a great feeling, but you can't avoid it any more than you can avoid falling when learning how to skateboard.
That's a good
now,
analogy.
I painted a pretty grim picture of fighting games, so I want to say the pros definitely outweigh the cons, and that winning the right game can vindicate all the frustration you've been feeling up to that point. And it's something you can be proud of. When you level up in a fighting game, the attributes that improve your play are stored in your own brain, not on some server run by a giant game publisher. There's a unique satisfaction you get from beating an opponent you couldn't beat before, or beating someone you were expected to lose to. As a matter of fact, beating the right person at the right time can start your fighting game career, or at least make you famous as the guy who beat so-and-so.
Right.
Because matches can be over so quickly in fighting games, the potential for blow-ups and upsets are high, and when they happen, it gets hype as hell. But there's a trade-off. Whenever there's a hype moment, there's going to be a very salty player at the receiving end, which, to be philosophical, completes the yin and yang. So even though learning to get good can be discouraging at times, it's part of the journey. The vast majority of the people I've met online or in
I'm just enjoying the visuals.
And sometimes you'll even have players fighting to teach newcomers how to play the game,
which
is pretty fitting for this.
I got two screens, so that's why my eyes are
Let me know what you think is
going
the
back and
hardest
forth.
thing about fighting games in the comments, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and seriously,
shout out to Core
Corey
Gaming, man. Shout out to Corey Gaming, man. I appreciate this one right here. I'm going to react to a few more of his videos. He has some interesting analysis videos that I wanted to look at. Yeah. Tell me what you guys think, man. Is that the reason why, you know, fighting games really don't get the accolades or the notoriety that they still supposed to get? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it would be much more easier to join a team and be a professional as a team rather than an individual. There's a lot of different core aspects about why this community hasn't really grown to the place that they need to be, and I think that's really is because of the community is setting limits. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to do. I would love to have a conversation with Corey Gaming about that. But man, post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think, man. If you like my reaction, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys at another one. And y'all know what it is. Win, lose, stay grinding, man. Peace out. Peace out.